Hi, it's Hella from Dawn Emporium, and this time we're talking about Tiger's Eye, which I'm sure we all know is literally the flashy one, and it's very, very pretty. What most people don't seem to realise is sometimes it's not quite as flashy. In fact, you do have to watch out because some people will try and sell you something that's very similar. Now, I have something here. You can tell on this one, I have to say, this isn't Tiger's Eye. I've got another one that's a little bit closer. Just 1 second. Need to get it out. There you go. This is a type of agate. And this one here is petrified wood or fossilized wood, depending on what you want to call it. Both of them obviously very beautiful. However, if you put that up to a not very flashy piece, sometimes people will try and sell you the darker version of this type of agate, which is a Tibetan agate piece. Clearer versions, I mean this piece, I say clearer versions, on this piece you can see two very distinct and well separated lines on this piece of wood, basically. On some of them they are very close together. They will try and sell you this instead of this because sometimes it doesn't always flash quite as brightly as these, and they think that they can palm you off with a cheaper alternative. Now we've gone through the warnings. Here is what it looks like when it's raw. Right, you can still see it's flashing at you. However, that is not what you expect that or that to look like, really, is it? But that is Tiger's Eye in raw form. I still think it's beautiful, in fairness. Honestly, if I was going to have my kitchen worktops made out of a raw form stone, I so would. However, it would literally cost the earth. Now, Tiger's Eye has been used for years, and by years I mean we're talking thousands. Right? It's one of the early stones and people like it. They always have. It stimulates mainly the root, sex and solar plexus chakras. So it's a lower stone. It honestly, today my throat is hurting. However, all my COVID tests are fine. My husband and daughter both positive. Me and my son not well. We're both negative. But my throat, I have had this cold for weeks, and my throat is just sick of this game now. So I am sorry if I keep stuttering and my voice sounds so croaky. I'm thinking of changing my name to Kermit. It's very off-putting for me. I'm so sorry. It assists in taking effective action and taking the right path for you on a physical or spiritual level. It activates intellect and sharpens logic. It energizes the body and teaches the balance between polarities, so right and wrong, yes and no, when to say no, when to say yes. It supports your general vitality, so your lust for life, your ability to do things. It's believed to promote balance and strength in difficult times. Always a plus, honestly is. It relieves doubt and converts anxiety and fear into practical logic and action. Again, awesome side effects for anything basically, whether it's a crystal, a stone, a plant, anything. It's full of both earth and solar energy, so always a good thing. So it helps both to calm you, soothe you, ground you, as well as bring light, love and energy. It promotes positive attitudes and joy. And if you use it with your solar plexus chakra, it attracts wealth and success. Now, this is the thing, because of its colours, it is known as a wealth and success stone. I wonder why. Anybody think it's very pretty golden glinty? Now, I did mention in one of my other videos I have 2 different folders, and I'm actually going to show you the difference between folders here. Hang on, let me just move stones a second. Right. In my quick general guide, this is Tiger's Eye. In my deep in-depth guide, this is Tiger's Eye. So, yeah. And then on top of that, I have other folders giving me other things. So if you turned around and said to me, oh, you know what, I'm having so much trouble finding love. The thing is, I have so many lustful relationships, but I want a deep, meaningful love. I would literally go to one of my other folders and look for meaningful love, and then see what stones there are for that. That is what my folders are like. So, it's traditionally carried as an amulet against curses and ill wishes. So, if you are the kind of person who does get paranoid about curses and ill wishes, and somebody has just cursed you or something like that, it's always good to know that you have this close by. It helps release fear and anxiety and aids harmony and balance. It stimulates taking action, helps decision making with discernment and understanding, unclouded by your emotions. Now, emotions can get in the way quite a lot with decision making. It's known to give courage, self-confidence, strength of will, enhances creativity, and aids Kundalini awakening. If you don't know what that is, Kundalini is meant to be a dragon living up your spine. So to awaken the Kundalini, the dragon living up your spine, it's the best way to put it, awakens a deeper part of your soul, your spirit, by awakening the dragon. Some people also say, you know, when you get shiver up your spine for no good reason, that's the Kundalini moving. It's awesome. My Kundalini must be epileptic. And I get to make that joke because I am epileptic. Ha ha. Sorry, I love the fact that I can make fit jokes. I hate having fits, but I love the fact that I can make fit jokes. It's like, I am so fit. You know, I don't even have to be sexy. I'm just so fit anyway. It helps balancing the brain, so it's apparently good for mental health. Now, I don't like the way that is put. What it means, and it goes into this later on, is apparently, well, we all know that the brain is technically in 3 parts. You've got your frontal lobe, and then you've got 2 lobes at the back. The 2 lobes in the back are what it's on about balancing. So balancing your right side and your left side, because the front side is just, it does things automatically. It's these 2 lobes that are the bit that it's on about. And if one side or the other side is taking too much of the strain, it can affect your mental health, allegedly, according to people who use stones for everything. And then this kind of a stone, amongst others, can help to balance those properties and make everything a little bit better and a little bit happier on the brain scale. However, I am not the greatest fan of that. Like I say, I'm epileptic. When it comes to brains, it's best left to neurosurgeons and neurologists. What I will say is, it is apparently very good for things like anxiety, depression and stuff like that, to keep around for you. Paranoia, like I say, people who are worried about ill wishes, things like that, it's a good stone to have on you. It's a good stone to have under your pillow, in your pocket, to wear as jewellery, because it's a lower functioning stone. Have it on a long necklace, keep it in your trouser pocket, on a key ring, in your handbag, something like that, so it's kept lower down. You want to keep it within the trunk of your body as opposed to neck and up. So a short necklace, earrings, something like that. Again, very good places to have them. I actually do sell earrings. Very good places to have them for beauty, don't get me wrong. And they can help if you are trying to use them for your mental health. They can apparently help the higher they are, but when they're lower, they can also help more for those chakras because they're closer to those chakras. However, what I will say is, because they work with those chakras, they are supposed to be good for things like if you have PMT, things like that. The reason why, when it comes to lower chakras, and me always mentioning PMT, is because men don't get PMT. However, if there is a male thing that hurts quite a lot down there and it has a name, please tell me and I will start mentioning it, because apart from cancers, I can't really think of that many. And if your prostate's playing up, you should already have gone to the doctors, not use a stone. I come from a family where prostate cancer is like every second man. Go get checked out. Don't use tiger's eye, whatever you do. Now, the largest numbers of tiger's eyes are found in South Africa, but it also comes from Brazil, India, Myanmar, Western Australia and the US. Its name comes from its resemblance to a tiger's or cat's eye. They're profound energy amplifiers, similar to most quartz crystals, and boost the energy of other crystals when used with them. I almost stuttered then. I felt my teeth and tongue not working together. Said to be used in ancient Rome when troops wore tiger's eye talismans to protect them. This holds true today, as it is a powerful protector. It's also a powerful aid to spiritual healing. If people are earthy, now, if you're just here for the pretty stones, I don't mean to sound demeaning. Again, if you're here for witchcrafty, you know what an earthy person is. If you're not, this is the Dummy's Guide. And I mean that in a nice way, because everybody needs a Dummy's Guide to something. You should see me with a computer. The Dummy's Guide is, there are, like, I'm very much a moon person and a garden person. So I'm an earthy person and a lunar. There are sun people, there are water people, we all have our elements and sometimes they overlap. And the really silly thing is, my middle name is Dawn, but I'm a night person. However, I was born in winter, so I was born under the moon, but my mum decided to name me Dawn. Go for it. Explains a lot, really, doesn't it? But if you're an earthy person, if you are a gardener, if you are always looking at flowers, if trees are your thing, something like that, and you've always wondered about psychic powers, you know, sometimes just see a shadow moving in the corner of your eye and think, could that be a ghost? But by the time you look around, it's gone. Or you sit there and you literally go into your greenhouse at night and you have planted rhubarb in your greenhouse just for the very reason of hearing it grow in the summer months, because it can grow a lot in the summer months and you can hear it creaking as it grows, and you have done that on purpose. You are an earthy person. I mean, I just got well excited today because I bought a new flower pot and it's got this watering system, and I can put my herbs in there so they don't die off over winter. I can put them in my greenhouse, and I am so excited. I am so sad. I know I am, right? But if you want to develop your psychic powers, or you think you may have psychic powers, or you want psychic powers and just want to know if you can read tarots or palms or something like that, this is a stone for you, especially if you are an earthy person. If you do third eye chakra meditations and are an earthy person, it also boosts it a lot. But it's not, generally speaking, a third eye chakra stone. It assists people in accomplishing goals, helps infuse confidence, brightness and optimism. Always good. Aids you to become calm and centered, except if you're me. Stimulates the ability to manifest your most ardent desires. Now, if you do know anything about spells, manifestations are a type of spell. This doesn't mean make a spell jar. What this means is you will work towards what you want, what you can achieve, and you will manage it because you've worked it out. It has a very masculine energy. Cat's eyes tend to have more of a feminine energy. Tiger's eyes more of a masculine energy. Having said that, when it comes to masculine, feminine energies, I think I've said this before, I'm a very masculine woman, so I am more drawn to tiger's eye over cat's eye, even though they look almost identical except for the colours. Yeah, so that explains everything. So when it comes to energy profiles between yin and yang, or masculine and feminine, it is up to you and what you are like as a person. I only put makeup on for going online and weddings, basically, and the odd night out, which is very odd these days. I've already done that. Helps release fear, manifest goals, aids clearer thinking and charges intellect, allows you to remain calm and grounded through changes. That's an important one. So if you're moving house, here's a good one that you don't normally hear spoken of when it comes to these things. If you are going to meet the man or woman who is going to become your husband or wife. Yeah, I know, I'm pale and I'm talking about arranged marriages. However, I think I've mentioned this in another video. I come from Leicester. A lot of my friends from childhood went into arranged marriages, and it wasn't a bad thing. It's not taboo with the friendship group that I had, because it was always a thing of a backup. You know how a lot of people these days have this thing of, if I'm not married by 40, I'm marrying my best mate Andrew or my best mate Sophie, because they're my backup. It was like that, only instead of waiting until they were 40, it was usually around about age 28. And if they hadn't found a partner of love by age 28 and got married, then they went and they had an arranged marriage. So if you are going to meet your arranged partner via your family, it might help, because that is a big change. Some of my friends, especially in the modern age, they would actually Facebook each other, Snapchat each other, things like that. before all of that happened, it was phone calls and text messages. So these days, lines of communication are open a lot more, but it used to be literally a case of meeting on the day. One of my neighbours, she was a lovely girl, she met her husband literally the night before her wedding, because in her faith, the night before the wedding, the bride sleeps with the women of both households and the groom sleeps with the men of both households. And that's what happens. So like the groom is there sleeping with his dad, his father-in-law, and all the brothers, and any sons that have already been born to those families. And the bride sleeps with both mother-in-laws, any sisters, any nieces. And that's what they did. So they literally met each other the night before their wedding. And I tell you what, how old am I? Getting on 37. They must have been married 23 years and still absolutely fine. I can't say that for a lot of non-arranged marriages. And that isn't a dig, I'm just saying, I'm actually sticking up for arranged marriages here. A lot of the arranged marriages I know have gone on a lot longer and a lot better than a lot of the non-arranged marriages. So I'm actually pro a certain form of arranged marriage. Wow, I really did just take a deviation there, didn't I? Yes. Helps increase money. I've already gone through that. Age you to be a force for good. Always a good thing. Everybody likes being a force for good. And if you don't, yeah, are you a serial killer? I'm joking. Maybe I'm not. But most people like to be a force for good. They like to think that they're good, even if they aren't running around dressed like Batman. So this helps you to become more of what you want to be, a force for good. Yeah, helps you become more mentally and physically active. Always good, and good for negotiators and mediators. Also good. So if you are in business and it's your job to get in more stock at a cheaper price, Tiger's Eye is probably your stone, especially as it apparently makes your brain work faster, helps calm you down, apart from if you're me, as I said, and very good for certain areas of your life. I like Tiger's Eye. A lot of creative people I've noticed are really big fans of Tiger's Eye. It's only second to what is known as either blue goldstone or blue sandstone, which is a man-made stone for creative people. They tend to either be on the blue goldstone stroke blue sandstone, whatever you want to call it, side, or the Tiger's Eye side. So if you are very creative, you tend to be on one of those two stones. Now, I can see why. It is a very creative stone. You look at it, it's beautiful, it's charming, it's constantly moving. And even though it only moves in lines, it is constantly keeping your brain buzzing with activity. It's like a mental fidget toy. So I can see how with creative people, it is a boon to have some around. However, like I say, it doesn't look that impressive when it's raw, but I just prefer it raw. I honestly do. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I have no problem with it that way, obviously, because that's absolutely beautiful too. But that way, it's so much better. It's so much better. I don't even know why. It's not very often people will fall for the raw over the tumbled, especially of such a basic pretty stone. But I really have. I think the raw is the way to go, personally. Right, I finally stopped talking. Way too much time taken up here. And too many bad jokes. Sorry. Have fun. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Know your power. Ta-da. Bye.